Welcome back. You are watching us. This is Yvonne. We are listening to her life story and journey. In a nutshell, we can't cover everything within a very short period of time. Yvonne has told us about growing up in Kenya, her experience, her life as a professional lawyer back in Kenya, and now she has made the decision to resign from her job. She has gotten the blessings from her colleagues at work, and now she has made that decision to migrate to Australia, and she has the skilled migrant visa. And now, Yvonne, how was it when you got to Australia? What were some of your first impressions? Had you been here before?
No. I think I'm one of those people who just went from my country into Australia.
Okay.
I had traveled, but not as much. I had traveled to neighboring Uganda, neighboring Tanzania.
Different from Australia.
Completely different. Completely different.
Yes.
So Australia for me was my first big trip, out into the world.
Okay.
But I think part of the things I did while I was doing, just my homework and my research and those sorts of things, and I think you will recall you're part of the people that I reached out to. I went on Facebook, and on Facebook I was looking for Kenyans living in Australia.
Yes.
So I just, typed Kenyans living in Australia,
Yes.
and I got a bunch of, names that popped up. And I think just did a little bit of an analysis based on, the names that popped up. And I sent out emails just asking about the country, what's the country like?
Yes.
How is it like living in Australia? How did you move to Australia?
Yes.
I did get some feedback and no feedback at all. But that was very helpful because in the next stage of my skilled visa application process was something that's very important, and that's determining where you're going to apply for your sponsorship.
Okay.
So I finally narrowed down on the Northern Territory, which is out here in Darwin.
Yes.
And I narrowed down that Facebook search on people who are currently living in Darwin.
Okay.
And that's how I found people like you.
Oh, okay.
So one of the ladies that I reached out to was a lady who, sometimes you meet someone and you click with them and you get talking and you talk and you share a lot of experiences with each other.
Yes.
And this is a lady I like to call, my guardian angel.
Wonderful.
Because I remember she called me and she said, Yvonne, I have made the move. I know how tough it is.
Yes.
And not tough in the sense that you probably don't have the resources, but it's tough because you're moving into a new place.
Exactly.
You're moving into a place where you don't know people.
Yes.
You're moving into a place where you know their houses, but you don't know what's the process, how you're going to do about it.
Yes.
Because part of the things you do is, you go in and you dig up information to try and get all of this information.
Yes.
So you know your way around it.
Yes.
You just, the hands-on skill is what you don't have.
Yes.
So this lady calls me one day and she says, Yvonne, when you come to Australia, you don't have to...
Have you met this lady before?
No.
Just a stranger?
I just met her on Facebook.
Okay.
I just met her on Facebook.
Yes.
I had never met her. I didn't know her other than just meeting her on Facebook.
Okay.
So this was a big move for her, for her family to be making.
Yes.
In saying that when you come,
Yes.
you don't have to worry about it.
Wow.
We will host you. We will pick you up from the airport. And I remember our flight landed at 5 a.m. in the morning. So for a total stranger to be at the airport at 5 a.m. in the morning, picking you up, a stranger that you have only spoken on the phone,
and to welcome them to the house.
And to welcome and open your doors to these people, that for me, I think is as big as any blessing can get.
They're good people out there.
So they're very good people out here.
Yeah.
So they picked us up and they hosted us, for the first around 3-4 weeks. And we stayed with them, shared a table, shared a roof, got to share in their experience on what do I need to do to establish myself in Australia. You need to apply for things like tax file numbers, you need to apply for clearances, police clearances, you need to apply for, if you're going to go into a sector where you work with children like now, you have to get certain clearances. So just general direction and just the feeling of someone putting you in their car and driving you around and telling you this is such a place, this is such a place. Places that, because of the research that I did, I knew these places exist, but I had never been to these places. So it was really wonderful, and I think for us, that was how we managed to transition into Australia. She had some very good networks. And she was able to speak to someone who gave me my first, job. It was a voluntary position, and I went in every day and worked and learned what I could about, the job, which opened doors for the next position, and now, just to be where I am.
Lovely. So if these people ever will watch this video, what would you like to tell them? Just this lady, what or family, what words? I'm sure you had many times you've spoken to them, but anything you could tell them now, just in Russia?
I just want to say that there was such a blessing to us, for myself and my family, and we will forever be grateful, for them taking that risk, and for them, opening up their doors, opening up their hearts, and we have continued to be friends, and we just hope for a lifetime of friendship, and for you to always know that we are very, very, very grateful for, just taking that bold step into taking us in and loving us in the ways you have loved us through, throughout the time we've been in Australia. It definitely means a world to us.
We're living in a time when there's so much hatred in the world and lots of protests and conflict in America, but despite such an environment in the world, there are people who have got very good hearts and they're caring. An example is the family we just talked about. Sorry to bring that protest issue in our conversation.
No worries. I mean,
but maybe you can even interject at this point. What are your thoughts about that?
I mean, that's a different circumstance, Geoffrey, and I think it would be very unfair to even try to put certain things on one pedestal. This is a completely different issue. If you think about it, it's, I guess, when it's something I like to think about in the sense of when people get to a boiling point. If you look at water simmer, it will simmer and it will simmer and it will get to a point where it will just, go over the top. And, it's there's a lot of conversations around it in terms of people have opinions, people have, what they feel for them is a justification for what is happening now. My thoughts are, we are all human beings. Whether you want to look at it in terms of we are God's creation or not, we're all human beings. We have every right to be here. We have every single right to be here and to be able to treat each other, with that humanity, with that humaneness that sometimes we tend to lose along the way. So that breaks my heart to see where we've gotten to now. But I think the bottom line is we are all the same. All of us were created the same. And if we can extend each other that grace, that appreciation that the next person is as good as you, probably not with as much money as you, probably not with as much privilege as you, but we're just the same.
We are the same.
We are the same.
As we come to the conclusion, what would you tell a migrant who's come to Australia? They don't speak as beautiful English as you do, and they are struggling with their self-esteem for whatever reasons, and probably they have experienced some form of racism, maybe not overtly, but probably in a subtle way. What would you tell such a person who might be struggling with that and they are really having a rough time?
That reminds me, maybe this is not something we've touched on, but in my, and sometimes it happens even now, it's just to remain informed, to prepare yourself. You can never fully prepare yourself for, what's coming. You can never really fully prepare yourself for the journey ahead. But there's such a thing, there's a thing called migration depression, where sometimes you wake up and you're sweating and you can't explain why, and there's just a lot going on. Because, like just very recently, I was involved in a car accident and someone knocked me. And I found myself under so much stress because you don't know what you're doing, you don't know where to go, you don't know who to reach out to. It can be very, very, very pressure intense. And just the move, you can't speak the language, or it really does a toll on your ego. And even now, there are certain times that I struggle. I struggle with, hearing accents, for example. I struggle with speaking and someone has to sort of, take a minute and say, what did you say?
What did you say?
Yes. So those things can cause you struggle, especially when you're coming from a place where you would speak and people would understand.
You didn't have to repeat.
You didn't have to repeat yourself. So it's just to, give yourself that grace. Know that everything doesn't happen overnight. Talk to people. Share your story. Find someone who is willing to listen to you. For you to be able to, speak and just say, I'm going through, a phase where I just feel confused.
Yes.
Or I'm going through a phase where I feel confused and alone
yes.
and scared
yes.
and I don't know what to do. Because sometimes it's just being moved from one place to the other that does that.
Yes. Yes.
Because people move and they move with jobs.
Exactly.
So it's got nothing to do with them having a job.
Yeah.
It's got nothing to do with whether they have money or not.
Yes.
Because if they move with a job,
yes.
it means they already have an income.
Coming, yes.
But there's a stress factor that comes with that move.
Yeah.
So just be open, talk to people, go online, find resources that help, if you're a person who, is a believer, commune with God,
Yes.
be able to speak and say, this is what I'm going through.
Yeah.
It's hard even, making friends and creating a tribe of people around
yes.
you.
Yes.
You find yourself with all of your friends, back home in the countries you came from.
Yes.
They might not be able to understand what you're going through.
Exactly.
But someone else,
yes.
who's probably made that move,
yes.
might be in a position to understand. So reach out to people,
yes.
Find the things that keep you going, whether that is music, whether that is just trying to integrate as much as possible
yes.
without losing yourself, but to just be able to, keep yourself going, because it's something that you have to wake up every day and say, I'm here, I need to push myself. And wake up the following day and say, okay, today's a tough day, tomorrow will be a better day.
There you go. So take home message, reach out. Don't struggle, don't suffer in silence. Reach out, and there are people who will give you a listening ear and help you. Or probably just by conversing, you'll be able to find a way out. Yvonne has got lots, as you can tell, that she can share with us, and she's very, very resourceful. I know you are involved in some mentorship programs that you probably run at home, and if people wanted to reach you or to get in touch, maybe somebody has got a question, they've heard you talk now, and they want to get some clarity on a few issues here and there, because we are not able to cover everything. We were not able to cover everything within a very short period of time, but hopefully we'll be able to get Yvonne back to talk about a different issue here on this show, so we will be having her back. But if you want to get in touch with Yvonne, I'll ask her to tell us her handles, if she's got any, and feel free to get in touch.
Thank you for that, Geoffrey. But I'm not an expert, and I don't want to pass myself as being an expert, but I've got experiences to share.
Yes.
And I think now, because we live in a world of social media, every once in a while I'll remember something, I'll post something and share with the world for them to be able to just understand a little bit about my story moving to Australia.
Yes.
There's a lot of good information out there. Depending on where you want to move, a lot of governments have their websites with a lot of good information.
Yes.
That's a good place to start. But I'm on Instagram, on Yvonne Twilly, so that's VONTWILI, and I'm not an expert, but come and share my stories. Come share my stories, and who knows, maybe someday I'll tell a bit more, a bit more of my story in this sort of way.
Exactly. Yes.
But that's one way to probably get in touch and share your story. Let's laugh about it. Sometimes it's worth laughing about.
Yes.
Maybe when we come back, Geoffrey, we can talk about just all of the cultural differences and have a laugh about it.
Exactly.
It's serious, heavy matters. Migration is very serious, very heavy.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's good to just stop and have a laugh about some of the things that that we've been through on the migration journey.
Yeah,
yes.
And we've gone through a lot of few things. People have gone through a lot of experiences. So probably next time when we talk to you, we'll be talking about those experiences that we've gone through as migrants and also as Kenyans or people from other countries living in a different country. But thank you very much for your time. We really appreciate all the best in everything you do.
Thank you.
And we really, really thank you. Our viewers, thank you very much, and listeners for watching the show. This has been Geoffrey speaking to Yvonne. Thank you very much, and we'll see you. Bye.